France essentially was not able to do anything about the United States defaulting on its obligation. It did nothing but accept it as a fait accompli, and the world entered stage 2 of US-managed monetary imperialism. So the second stage then is essentially like stage 1, except that gold plays no role anymore whatsoever. All countries are now on a pure fiat money standard. The United States initiates the process of inflation, and by using dollars as reserve currency, US inflation is imported to other US-dominated countries. While goods, of course, flow in the opposite direction. Paper dollars flow to other countries, and the goods flow from other countries to the United States. Yet a run on US gold reserves is, of course, no longer possible because gold plays no role anymore. Even this system, however, is still unsatisfactory because in a world of many countries, and even if the United States is a superpower, with troops stationed in well above 100 countries around the globe, this system of coordinated inflation is bound to crack again and again. On the one hand, a US-dominated country might inflate more than the US, and its currency might depreciate against the dollar, and then the United States, in order to save government-connected investors in those countries, may be compelled to engage in expensive bailout operations. That is, to buy up the falling currency in order to stabilize it. Or, and on the other hand, and this is the more important problem, a US-dominated country may inflate less than the United States, and its currency appreciates against the dollar. And if this becomes a trend, the dollar tends to lose trust and may be abandoned in favor of other and harder currencies. Accordingly, then, as a final solution in the drive toward monetary imperialism and as a decisive intermediate step in the drive toward world government, the United States has been working long and hard to establish a world central bank that controlled, of course, by the United States, which would issue a single worldwide accepted paper currency. For only then are all obstacles to government counterfeiting eliminated, because then the currency can no longer rise or fall against any other currency, because there are no other currencies left. The monetary integration that is currently underway in Europe, that is the establishment of a Europe-wide euro, is an important step in this direction. The euro will, of course, be more inflationary than the least inflationary of the previously existing national European currencies, that is the German mark. And as it is easier for the United States Central Bank to cooperate with a single European central bank than it is to cooperate with some 15 or so different banks. And moreover, whereas these 15 different banks or so also could and in fact did use other reserve currencies besides the dollar, namely those of the European currencies, notably the German mark, now with these other currencies gone, what else but the dollar can the European bank use for its reserves for this purpose? Now once more, however, to succeed in this attempt of establishing a world central bank, public support is, of course, necessary. And to secure this support, it is necessary to promote another myth. Indeed, the same myth that is currently propagated in Europe to establish the euro. And that is the myth that a single currency reduces transaction costs. No more tedious exchanging of money when you travel from Germany to Italy. That is the central argument that is currently used in Europe. Now, this myth contains an important half-truth. And this makes it, of course, particularly dangerous and potentially effective. Because it is in fact true that money serves its purpose as a medium of exchange better the more widely it is used. and international trade and economic calculation is in fact facilitated by the existence of a single money. After all, commodity money such as gold, which emerges in and as a result of free markets and of market exchange, has itself the tendency to become a universally used money, to become ultimately, as trade expands, a worldwide used commodity money. Matters are fundamentally different, however, if this money is a fiat money produced by a governmental world central bank. Given the nature of government, we can safely predict that such a money, paper money issued by a central bank, will be more inflationary and will lead to more massive redistribution of income and wealth in favor of government and at the expense of the general public than anything that we have seen so far. In fact, if we are to have a fiat money at all, rather than a commodity money, and the only alternative is to have either competing national paper currencies or to have an international paper money, the choice should be clear. As much as competing and fluctuating paper currencies are dysfunctional of the very purpose of money, that is, to function as a facilitator of exchange, the alternative of competing fiat monies, if we are supposed to have a fiat money, this alternative is infinitely better than the other alternative of having a world governmentally produced fiat currency. Whether the drive toward a World Bank will succeed or not then depends on us, and on us whether or not we will be able to succeed in making the public understand this message, the fraudulent argument used that paper monies, worldwide used paper monies, will reduce transaction costs. Thank you very much.